welcome to the world of musical theatre. My name is Filippa and I am the understudy, and this is the channel where we talk about everything musical theatre related. This video is part of our larger series going through the history of musical theatre, and today we are discussing the operetta HMS Pinafore, so let's learn. HMS Pinafore, or The Last Loved Sailor, is a comic opera in 2 acts, or operetta, with music by Arthur Sullivan and a libretto by W.S. Gilbert. It premiered at the Opera Comique in London on May 25th in 1878, and it ran for 571 performances, making it the longest running musical theatre piece at the time. The plot of HMS Pinafore is set aboard the Royal Navy ship of the same name. It follows the story of Josephine, the captain's daughter, who is in love with Ralph Rackstraw, a lowly sailor. However, her father, Captain Corcoran, intends for her to marry Sir Joseph Porter, the First Lord of the Admiralty. While initially agreeing to follow her father's wishes, Josephine ultimately plans to elope with Ralph. The captain discovers the plan, but just as Gilbert and Sullivan do in most of the shows, a surprising twist changes everything and it comes to a joyful yet absurd ending. The humor of HMS Pinafore is rooted in satire of British class systems, military authority, and political aspirations. It criticizes the absurdity of social classes and inflates the sense of patriotism and duty, making it both a sharp social commentary and a light-hearted musical theatre play. The title itself shows a kind of humor, as a pinafore is a simple sleeveless apron-like garment typically worn by girls, but here it is transformed into the name of a dangerous naval ship, adding a layer of irony to the show. When it comes to casting, Gilbert and Sullivan did something completely new by intentionally casting actors who fit the part despite not being famous stars. This decision kept the focus on the characters and the story, avoiding fame to influence the character and keeping true to the satire at the heart of their work. This approach, along with the tightly integrated plots and lyrics, set a new standard for operettas, and while still very much an operetta created in Britain, it readied the stage for American musical theatre productions to come. HMS Pinafore was Gilbert and Sullivan's 4th operatic collaboration, following earlier works like Thespis, Trial by Jury, The Sorcerer. However, HMS Pinafore was their first major international sensation. It captures the imagination of audiences in not just Britain, but across the Atlantic and America as well. But with some challenges. The show was so popular that it sparked a wave of unauthorized productions in the United States. People would use their knowledge of the show and recreate their own versions. About 150 American companies did unauthorized productions and took a lot of liberties with the story, and no royalties were paid to Gilbert and Sullivan. This piracy issue also became a problem because the quality of these versions damaged the reputation of the original work. So when the team first brought the show to America in 1879, everyone had already seen the beaten-down versions of HMS Pinafore. After a first strong week, the audience staggered. To combat this, their next operetta, The Pirates of Penzance, premiered in the US and Britain simultaneously, becoming the first known operetta written on American soil. Some of the most recognizable songs of HMS Pinafore include My Gallant Crew / I Am the Captain of the Pinafore, famous for the playful line, I'm never ever sick at sea, with a back and forth response of, what never? No, never. What never? Well, hardly ever. This comedic exchange has been parodied countless of times as well. Then we have Called Little Buttercup, or Hail Me O Wars. This charming waltz introduces the character of Buttercup, a nickname given by the crew, though she really is anything but a sweet buttercup. She sells all kinds of contraband and supplies to the sailors, adding a bit of cheeky grit to the story, but is an iconic character of the show, and an iconic song. A British Tar. This is a proud and somewhat exaggerated anthem about the ideal British sailor, giving the sailor a humorous list of qualities. For he is an Englishman. This song is one of the last of the show, and it brings the entire cast together. It also has become somewhat of an iconic representation of British patriotism. Despite the challenges with the unauthorized productions, the legacy of HMS Pinafore is undeniable. It set the stage for modern musicals, blending memorable melodies, clever lyrics, and sharp satire into a form that still resonates with audiences today. If you want to take a look at the story and structure of HMS Pinafore, I have put the links to the libretto and the score in the description below, as well as a variety of different recorded productions. You can also listen to some of the older recordings of the songs by following the links, and what I consider most importantly, I've linked a variety of cultural references to the show. So you'll see clips from The Simpsons, Family Guy, Star Trek, etc., where the characters all sing different songs from the show or make references to it. That said, thank you so much for watching. If you like these kinds of videos, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. I'm making more of these as we speak, and I probably already have a lot of them posted. But yeah, have a wonderful time, and I will see you in the next video.